I just bought my S63 from House of Imports. So let's take a look at the car and let's talk about a little bit about this car and how I'm able to afford this car. Alright guys, let's go ahead and talk about how I afford this car. Alright guys, here we go. First drive. This is my second drive actually. First drive with you guys. Second drive after I took it home from the dealership. Well, after making the video on whether or not I should get the S63 or the M760, all the likes goes towards the S63. So even though I asked for 3,000 likes, I didn't get 3,000 likes, but there was no dislike in regards to this car. So I knew that this is the car that I must buy for my daily commute. Now, this is one of the most luxurious cars that you can purchase, the S-Class, but stepping up to the performance level, the S63 is one of the best, if not the best car that you can buy that combines performance and luxury into one. This one comes with a 5.5 liter V8 engine, outputting 577 horsepower. Now, I originally intended to go into House of Import, which is in Southern California, and buy a brand new 2017 S63. So I got there to the lot and I looked at a 2017 S63, price about $160,000. While I was looking at that car, I also see a trade-in, this is the trade-in car with 12,000 miles on it, and it's a 2016 S63. Now I look at the two cars and I don't notice any big difference or any difference in the two cars, except for maybe like this one has a 3G LTE inside the car and the 2017 has a 4G LTE inside the car. So, and this car is priced at $110,000. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna buy this one just because it's really the same as the other one. And in addition, it comes with a CPO warranty from Mercedes, so it's pretty top-notch, saving myself $50,000 right off the bat. So I decided to go with this car instead of the 2017. Now I know that while in the process of making this video, the 2018 is actually coming out, and it's going to be here in about 3 months from the debut of this video. Comparing between the two, I guess I do have the option of waiting for the 2018, but at the moment I don't feel like waiting, and I'm getting a pretty good deal on this 2016, so might as well buy the 2016 and save myself some money. So that's what I did. Best decisions I've made this week, not in my lifetime, but this week. And I'm so stoked right now. I'm overjoyed having owned the luxury cars that I have dreamed of for the last 4 months. You're here because you want to know what I do for a living in order to buy such an expensive car. Well, you know what? It comes down to kind of like what you want and your priorities in life, you know? And I'm actually at the point where this is the car that I want to own for the next maybe 2 to 3 years, and then whatever happens afterward, I'll sell it. But I'm 26, I'm still young, and this is the time I guess I can still enjoy what's around me, you know? I can go out there and I can be a little flashy if I want to. It's not really a display of wealth, you know, because I don't have that much wealth. I get by, and I own this car because I'm able to afford it comfortably. So, and I enjoy it, and I think that's the main reason why I bought the car. And by the way, it's pretty quiet inside. I can barely hear the outside. Right now you're hearing the air conditioning noise, the vent going on, and you know, I'll lower that if that helps with my presentation here. But you know, ever since I was 15, that's my first job, is when I was 15, and what I did was I sold candies in front of a supermarket, and I sold it for 60 cents each, and after working for 8 hours I made $25. $10 years ago, 11 years ago, is a lot. It's about like $40 now. And that was the best $20 I've ever made, that $20. And at that moment, I knew that if I want to achieve something, if I want to get something, then I really have to put a lot of hard work into it. And you know, that's exactly what I did. I don't have a rich parent, and that's what a lot of YouTubers, you know, who were able to be very successful. And by the way, I'm not a successful YouTuber. I'm just what I am. That's what they do. They don't come from a rich family. They just work hard. And if you look at a lot of successful people, they just tend to work really hard, and they have their dreams. They follow their dreams, and they eventually reach that specific point in their life, you know, that they are able to attain something that they really want. So when I was 15, I got my first job, and then from then on, I realized that, hey, if this is what I want, if I want to get something, I'm gonna have to go and find it myself. And that's exactly kind of like what I did. I kind of follow a specific goal that I have. I knew that I want to be able to make money to support myself, but I was also somewhat gifted to be able to do things that other kids at my age did not do. For example, when I was about 15, I started selling motorized bike. It's becoming somewhat popular now, but back about 10 years ago, that's when it kind of first got started, and it was big. I mean, I was able to save some money from doing odd jobs here and there, bought a whole bunch of engines and start selling them on the internet, and that's how I kind of got this thing kickstarted. After doing that for a while, and the business kind of starts to go down a little bit, so I decided to think of something else to do. And the next thing I did was I bought iPhones off eBay, and I sold it on Craigslist locally, you know, and it went pretty well. Each phone that I sold, I made about $50 to $100 per phone, and just imagine, I sold about 2 to 3 phones a day at the age of 17. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I was still in high school, and I'm able to make some money to kind of get me by, and so it was okay. It wasn't such a bad thing. But that taught you a lot. It taught you it teaches you that whatever you want, you kind of have to go out there and get your own. Well, moving on, there was a period of about 6 months. Nothing lasts forever. So that cell phone thing, on going from eBay to Craigslist, ran into some trouble. There was one time, 2 times actually, I got mugged on Craigslist. So iPhones were stolen, lost about over $1,000 on those deals, and I just felt like, hey, you know what? It's too risky to make so little, you know? It wasn't worth it, so I decided to quit that scheme and move on to something else. Again, I was fortunate to be gifted. I enjoy cars. I love cars. I enjoy fixing cars. And by the way, that was around 17. That's when I also bought my BMW 5 Series. Again, I have a few odd jobs. Bike engines did pretty well. iPhone did okay, but I was able to afford a BMW 5 Series. So I had that car for a while. And you know what? I was really into cars. And I started to mess around with cars. So one of the things I did to that car is I replaced the car battery. And who knows, right? But replacing the car battery at a dealership costs about $500 to $700, depending on which dealership you go to. So I wanted to find a way to save money, so I decided to replace the car battery myself. And I bought the battery at Sam's Club for $100 back then. Replaced it, made a video out of it, because I guess a lot of people actually needed to do the same thing and save some money. So I made a video, and guess what? It went somewhat viral. I didn't get millions of views, but I did get hundreds of thousands of views that I felt, hey, you know what? People actually needed help in this area. And so I started to do a few other things. I showed people how to install recessed lighting in the house, show people how to fix the brake pad, putting on snow chain for winter season. And it kind of picked up. And And that's kind of like the moment where I felt like, hey, you know what? Making videos on YouTube could be something that I do. And by the way, I'm doing this because I enjoy it, not because I have to do it. So I started doing that, and again, I was somewhat gifted, I guess. A friend called me jack of all trades. The next thing I did was I started to fix computers. Fixing computers and selling computers online through eBay. So I buy like these parts, I put them together, and I make them as small and as light as possible, and I sell those online. Very similar to the NUC, NUC, Intel NUC. That's kind of like what I did back then, and that also exploded and did pretty well until the NUC comes out, which nowadays you look at computers and they're so small, you know, they're so small, and so they took over my business basically. And that's when I knew that I had to go on and I had to do something. And by the way, while I was doing all of these, I was also in school getting an education. I was lucky because, again, I enjoy cars a lot. So the next thing that kind of showed up within that time frame was the import scene. And so I ran into this one owner. He owns a wheel company. It's called Symbolic Wheels. It's out of business now. But he needed a guy to do their graphics and their websites. And so I volunteered without knowing nothing about how to build a website or doing graphics or Photoshop. But I learned on the job. You know, that day that I came to meet him, I went home, I went to Barnes & Noble. I bought myself a Photoshop book, and I started reading it. I bought myself Dreamweaver. Back then we used Dreamweaver to build websites. And my first month, I thought I was gonna get fired just because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But, you know, having the patience, having the dream to do what you love, building websites, working with cars, I continued to improve. And the website looks nice. He hired me full-time, got a pretty good raise with some options in the company. The company was actually pretty big back then. And that kind of took off for me as well, you know? And I was always in the right place at the right time. And so that picked up for a bit. I worked there for about 4 years until for some reason the wheel industry just kind of went downhill and the company just went bankrupt. But I did make a good chunk of money going to school full-time and working full-time. And so while in school, I first wanted to major in computer science, but that fell out of place, and math was the next thing that I went into just because I love math. To make a long story short, I became a tax consultant, and now I file taxes for a living. And file taxes for a living, yeah, it's something that I really enjoy doing because it's just, I like working with numbers, you know, and it pays well. It pays really well, as you can see. I work about 4 months out of the season. April 15th just passed, so now I have a lot of time to be able to kind of make this video for you and share with you what I do. However, you know, it's what allows me to buy this car is called hard work. It's called hard work. It's called having a dream. It's called having a passion. And if you look at all the successful people, because I'm going to refer back to successful people, they all have a dream and they all have a passion. And they follow their dreams and they do what they want to do. So if you have a dream or if you have a goal in mind, if this is your goal in mind, go ahead and follow that dream. Do what you like though, however. If you're into music, then continue to make music. Your music's gonna suck the first one or two songs, just kind of like how my presentation here does suck because I'm not a professional YouTuber. I only do this to share with you guys my experience. But if you follow your dream, it's gonna get you there, you know? And I guess, does owning this car make me happy? Yeah, it does kind of make me happy. But without this car, will I still be happy? Of course. I don't think this car makes me any happier than whether or not I own this car. Now, I do want to say that it does make your commute a bit more comfortable, just because there are myriads of driving options. There's a whole bunch of things here to keep you comfortable while you're driving the car. It can drive itself if I really wanted to. If I'm tired, I can just push the lane assist and the steering assist and turn on the Distronic Plus, and it'll drive it. It'll drive for me. But does it make me happier? No, I don't think it makes me any happier. Before I drove this car, I drove a RAV4, and so as you notice, I still keep the RAV4. I still have the RAV4, so I keep the car around just to, you know, I'll commute here and there. But yeah, you know what? You follow your dreams, and you do what makes you feel happy. And notice that at the end of the day, what makes you successful is not what you gather, but it's actually what you spread. All right, so keep that in mind. What makes you successful from this day on is not what you gather, but it's what you spread. And so go out there and pursue your passion. You know, pursue your passion. Go do what you like, but do it, and do it with all your heart. Do it with all your passion. And I think if you do, then you will be able to attain everything that you ever want. And by the way, once you have attained those items, then keep in mind that it's not what you gain, but it's what you spread. So share your love, share what you gain with other people. And you know what? That's what I do. I'm 26 years old. That's what I do. It makes me pretty comfortable. And at this point in my life, you know, the things that makes me the most, that makes me happy, is being able to share with other people what I have. And so what I have, I share. I don't keep a lot. I'm not an investor. I don't invest in stock or anything like that. I don't make a lot of money doing this and that. That's a 360-degree camera right there. I'm at a gas station. I'm gonna pump some gas. We're gonna talk some more later. But yeah, you know, let me end this video for you pretty soon. And so go out there, and if this luxury car is the car of your choice, go out there and follow your passion, follow your dream, and get it. It's okay. You don't have to make a lot of money to be able to afford on these cars, but you do have to have some to maintain it, you know. But at the end of the day, it's the people around you that matters to you. It's the people around you that matters. All right. Well, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and thanks for also giving me a chance to share a little bit about my story with you guys. Notice that cars and technology is my channel, and it's just a fun channel for me to kind of vent my hobbies. These are my hobbies when I'm not at work. And so thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. I know your time is valuable, so so the fact that you're spending time to watch my video means a lot to me. If you have something to say, leave me a comment below. And I hope you do like my video. And if you don't like my video, leave me a comment, let me know, and I'll try to make it better. I'm new at making YouTube videos. So the first one, this is one of the very first videos that you're watching. It's not gonna be perfect,